They are not 5-0 like our next guest, and all guests coming to you via the Fire Wings hotline. Try one of their delicious flavors of wings today. Fire Wings, just wing it. Every win is sweet in the NFL, but beating the Rams in Los Angeles in front of a lot of Niner fans has to be super sweet. The undefeated 49ers. Arik Armstead joining us again. Arik, congratulations on the win, and did it feel a little bit like a home game yesterday?
Yeah, fans were definitely loud down there in the Coliseum, and we were able to, feed off of them, and there was a lot of energy in there for our team, and that was a great feeling to play in the atmosphere, especially on the road.
So by my count, Arik, and I want to remind everybody, every time Arik comes on, we're going to mention this. The Tackles for Students from Arik Armstead pledging $1,000 per sack, $250 per tackle. That fans can match that or just pay out a flat donation, and all funds raised go to the Armstead Academic Project to help kids in the classroom right here in Sacramento. To figure that out, go to Arik Armstead 91. That's ARIK Armstead91.com to make your pledge per tackle. So let's figure this out here. I'm not good at math, Arik. I didn't go to Oregon or anything, but let's see here. 6 tackles. So right there, that is $1,500. And then you had half a sack yesterday. They gave you half a sack. I mean, come on. I would have given you more. They gave you half a sack, so that's $500. So what are we at? We're at $2,000. Man, you actually had to pay to play yesterday, I think, with all this money you're giving out, but it's for a great cause.
Yeah, for sure. It's a win-win for me to be able to go out there and play well, put up good numbers, and also give back to my community. So it's all positive, and I'm going to try to keep it going, and I would definitely love everyone to get involved and try to pledge at least something, whatever they can. All the money's going back to our community and trying to educate our students.
So, Arik, about the adjustments in game, obviously the Rams are a very good offense. They go down the opening drive and score on you guys. After that, I think the next 8 drives, you guys gave up 48 yards and no points. What was different from drive 1 to really the rest of the game when you guys just dominated them defensively?
Well, we just needed to settle into a game. They're a good team, so we knew they were going to get something. And they kind of came out in the game and kind of punched us in the mouth from the jump. But, we weren't too phased. We knew we just had to settle in, play how we knew how to play, make some slight adjustments, and keep fighting and go out there and keep attacking and just be relentless and play with effort and play with violence, and everything will take care of itself.
So I'm going to say something here that I know is completely wrong, Arik, but after the Rams marched down and got that first score, going back, if I didn't know what the Rams were and I didn't know what the Niners were before this season, I would say it looked easy for you guys. Now, I know it wasn't easy, and I know you guys had to do a lot of things defensively. Is it a bit of a different system when you're going up against Sean McVay because he has so many rabbits in his hat, or was he a little muted because of some of their injuries? Did you guys still have to be on your toes constantly because of him?
Yeah, for sure. They still had great players out there. They're missing Todd, who's a great player and definitely dynamic and changes what they do. Hopefully he can come back soon and get healthy. But they definitely still bring some challenges that you have to plan for and have to attack.
I wonder, we know that sometimes offense can get contagious when a running back gets going, a receiver, a quarterback, kind of a rhythm. Is there a sense of rhythm, too, and energy that you guys felt defensively? I mean, between your defensive coordinator on the sideline when you get a sack, or Thomas got a sack yesterday, D. Ford, do you guys feel like that sense of momentum and energy that you really started to pick up some momentum on defense?
Yeah, it's contagious. Everybody's flying around, making plays. Wanted to be a part of it. We're all hungry to make plays, but we're all out there doing it together, and when everybody can get involved, and when you play fast, play relentless, it's a lot of fun. What you can do out there on the field.
Well, Jason kind of alluded to it. I was so entertained by Rob Saleh yesterday, and I think you guys had In fact, I know you had more fourth down stops on the Rams than they had third down conversions. And every time you guys stopped them on fourth down, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the broadcast yet, Eric, but every time you guys stopped him on fourth down, the camera focused on Robert Saleh, and he was just doing the do you even lift, bro? Like flex and just screaming at the guys and pounding people's helmets and all that. It has to fire you up so much, and you have to be so happy for him as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely happy for Coach, and he definitely gets us fired up out there. He's a leader of our defense. And, when he's fired up and our coaching staff is fired up and excited, and that definitely gets us going even more. And when you're coming to the sideline and everybody jumping around, it's definitely a great feeling that you're just trying to keep going.
So, Arik, how do you guys balance what you've had? Success. 5-0, only one in the NFC. You guys should feel like you're good, but not being overconfident. How do you guys balance that and staying hungry every week?
Really haven't done, much of anything yet. 5-0, it's been a great start, but, we have big goals for our team and where we think we can go. And, we got to continue to take it day by day and game by game and go out there and execute and play as hard as we can.
One of the great things about having you on is that you can break down a lot of things other people may not see. On paper, had you told me, Arik, on Saturday that Nick Bosa would have one tackle and then zeros across the board, I'd be thinking, we're in trouble here. Would you mind talking a little bit about what Nick does and what Nick did yesterday that doesn't necessarily show up in the box score?
Yeah, what you do as a defensive lineman doesn't always show up in the box score, in terms of, sacks or stats. It's all about being disruptive, causing havoc. And, in some games, you necessarily play well and you don't necessarily, have those big numbers, but you played a good game. You're disruptive. You made things happen. I go back to the Pittsburgh game. I think I had one tackle that game.
Yep.
But, I got a lot of love because of the forced fumble or whatever. But I don't think that people would have, if that play didn't happen, I don't think that people would have really noticed, how I played. Even though I only had one tackle, I was really disruptive. I was everywhere. I was digging the run game, trying to play from a physical standpoint. So I just think that, outside looking in, you don't always see the impact that a defensive lineman has on the game just from a pure stat standpoint.
Yeah, how many times would you say that's happened to you, Arik? Where the same with an offensive lineman. There's no stats for them, but you could feel like you had a great game when maybe there's no stats to back it up. Where on the other side, maybe you had better stats one week, and you're like, I didn't have my best game. How often does that happen?
It can happen a lot. You can go out there and get a sack or two, but on all the other 40 plays, you're getting pancaked and doing all and playing bad ball. So it's all relative. For me, when I flip on the film after the game, I think this is what a lot of guys, that's on tape for the rest of your life. So every play is going to be on tape for the rest of your life. So you want to go out there and put on a good performance, and that always doesn't show up in the stat sheet. It's about, playing hard, being disruptive, doing your job, because, there's 10 other guys in the field. So you have to play your part.
Arik Armstead with us. How many tickets did you have to get last night, yesterday for the game? Yesterday I got like 16. Yeah, my mom's family's from LA, so a lot of them came, and my parents came down, my sister, her fiance, my fiance. So we had a
we had a lot of fun.
Well, and you get, we don't we usually stick to football here, but the thing people don't realize, Arik's got his whole family is involved in everything. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, we know your dad trains like everybody to the hoop basketball training as well. I think Eric Minka, Pinheiro, a bunch of those guys. Doesn't Kowalski work out with him as well? I mean, this is something you've known since you were a little boy.
Yeah, for sure. My dad been big in the community in basketball, working out, man, countless guys over the years. Everybody who came through Sacramento really, or had played for the Kings back in the day, or some of the guys currently. I've been blessed to be around a lot of professional athletes throughout my life. Matt Barnes, Ryan Anderson, Bobby Jackson, Kevin Martin, at a young age. And, my dad trained them, and being able to be around when I was young and watch them and watch how they worked. And, it really made playing in the professionally or playing in the NFL a reality to me. It seemed super attainable because guys I knew personally at a young age did it. And, I saw how hard they worked, and, that kind of instilled that work ethic in me, and also made my dream attainable because I had plenty of examples of people doing it. So definitely my dad has been in the game, my entire life, and has helped a lot of guys, reach their dreams and reach their goals in their basketball careers.
Well, and one of the great things about doing radio in your hometown is we get stuff like this. One of your teachers texting in from Folks Ranch Elementary School in Elk Grove, still teaching there, talking about how great of a kid you were. And I'm curious, with a dad who's such a badass when it comes to training people and being around those athletes your whole life, you seem like such a mellow guy who's so happy to be in the NFL, and you're just killing it. But back when you were at Folks Ranch Elementary School, or maybe a little after, were there times where dad was getting you up early or keeping you out late? And I mean, were there times where you were sitting there going, just come on, man, I want to go play Xbox. What are you doing?
Yeah, it was definitely those times, but I feel like my dad kind of, he was there and super supportive, and wanted us to instill these things into us. But at a certain age, it kind of became on us. And so, when my dad was going to the gym early in the morning to go train the guys, it was kind of on me. He wasn't gonna have to wake me up and do all this. If I wasn't up, he would leave me. So he kind of put it on me, all these things are here. If you want to be a part of them, if you want to work hard, then, you're going to put it on yourself to do that. And so that's kind of the way he was. And, I used to get mad when he would wake up and go to the gym and, without me, if I overslept or something. So I used to make sure that I would wake up on time, and, so I could be a part of that. And, because I loved it from, a young age, just training and, that dream, trying to keep that dream of playing at the highest level. When I was younger, I was super big on basketball, so I had a dream of playing in the NBA as well too. And then I got into football, and had the same dream of playing in the NFL. So
you played a minute at Oregon, didn't you? Didn't you play a game at Oregon at least? I thought.
Yeah, I played in one game.
Hey, that's D1 basketball,
dude,
at Oregon. That's not like, oh, you only played one game. I mean, and honestly, I'm sure you weren't as big back then as you are now, but I've been next to you, and imagining you play basketball and the quickness and agility you have to have, that's pretty scary, dude.
Yeah, I think, a lot of the basketball training I had throughout my life definitely has helped me on the football field, just being athletic, and they kind of go hand in hand. So definitely it's helped me a lot.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of Oregon, big showdown this week. You guys get one of your rivals, Washington. You're up to number 12. How do you think about the Ducks fate the rest of this year?
Man, the Ducks are doing well. I love turning on the games and watching them and hoping they do well. They play, you mentioned Washington. One of my good friends, my brother, really, Shaq Thompson, went to Washington,
Yep.
and that reminds me of all the battles we had and going back and forth. I don't know if a lot of people know yet, but Shaq's mom passed away yesterday.
Yeah.
So I would like everybody to have their family in their prayers and send some support over to him. But I think the game's going to be great. It reminds me a lot of those battles back in the day, UW in Oregon, and I didn't even know it was that big of a rivalry until I got there and got to see how much the fans really hated each other.
Arik, it took you guys 5 games to surpass your entire win total from last year. 5 games to beat the 4 wins you had last year. And we could get into the differences physically on the field, obviously Jimmy G and all the additions, but is it as much a change, Arik, in that locker room mentally, the culture, or was that there last year and you guys just had bad breaks? I'm trying to figure out what the big off-field change was for you guys.
I think it's just a maturation process. Things have to come together. You have to go through certain adversities, certain experiences. Keep building, finding right pieces. To add to the team, and just keep fighting and keep working throughout it. And I knew that we had a talented group. But it just has to all come together, and you have to find who you are as each year goes. Like I said, and add new pieces, and we've been able to get off to a good start, and we're trying to keep it going. I feel like we're continuing to gel as a team, but we're going to get tighter and tighter as the season goes on, and it's super exciting.
Yeah, you should be excited. Niners fans are excited. Arik, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the 5-0 start. Good luck this week in Washington, and we do thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, my man. Take care.
And Arik Armstead.
Want to mention one more time, Arik Armstead tackles for students, pledging $1,000 per sack. He had a half sack yesterday, so that's $500. $250 per tackle. He had 6 tackles. That's another $1,500. Fans can pledge per tackle or just give a flat donation, and all funds raised go to the Armstead academic project to help kids in the classroom here in Sacramento. Go to Arik Armstead, A-R-I-K, ArikArmstead91.com to make your pledge per tackle.
The Drive.